Hey guys, so I'm trying something a little bit new today. I'm recording a voiceover over some video that I recorded in a lesson earlier on today. So basically, this is a real lesson scenario dealing with the hold of the right hand and trying to get a little bit more efficient with that right hand so you can build up your speed later on. And if you look at what's happening right now, the arm was moving quite a bit, and now with a little bit of instruction from me for Jack, you see the arm is moving a little less, and there's a bit more play in the wrist and then the fingers. So this song that we're doing is actually quite a fast one. So what Jack is attempting to do is to work on the way that he holds and the amount of movement that's in the arm versus the movement that comes from the wrist and from the fingers. What happens with a lot of drummers when they're trying to drum as fast as they can to try and keep up with the speed of a track, they just move their arm faster. And that's just the way they're used to it. So now, as you see, I've taken the second stick from Jack and I'm really demonstrating for him the amount of movement from the stick as opposed to the movement in the arm. And now that I'm doing it with my left arm, that you can see my fingers are the ones that are responsible for sending the stick back, along with a little bit of a assistant from the wrist. So it's a lot less about the arm moving and a lot more about the fingers moving. So Jack's doing really well here. It's at a far slower pace than what he was attempting to do earlier on. This is really beneficial for him. So the goal for Jack this week is going to be really simply not to try and play it as fast as he can, but instead to slow it down to maybe half of the speed. The goal speed I know on this is 150, and the speed that we were practicing on it is about 70. So it's just under half the speed that he eventually wants to get to. And we're not going at that slow speed just to relax. We're going at that slow speed so that he can think about what his arm is doing. So as you see, when Jack restarts here, lots of movement in the arm. Lots and lots of movement. And that's what we're trying to get out. So when he's going that slow, we want him to think about, what's my arm doing? What am I attempting to do here? And you see now he's going fast, and it's back to holding the stick a little bit tighter and playing from the elbow as opposed from the wrist and from the fingers. That's what we're going to try and get rid of. So we're going to jump now to an example of me doing it and see if there's a little bit of a difference between arm movement and finger and wrist movement. So now we've switched angles. We're looking at the second kit, and basically we're playing the exact same piece, nice slow tempo, and you can see there's an awful lot of looseness in the hold. The thumb and index finger are doing the holding, and the back three, being the middle finger, ring finger, and baby finger, are the ones that are basically pushing that stick back in. And the analogy I've used before of a basketball kind of works out here. Now I'm holding it too tight. You can see that there's a lot less height movement. There's the switch. So there's a huge difference. You can see my stick is kind of coming up to 12 o'clock, almost 1 o'clock, when I'm allowing my wrist and allowing my fingers to do the playing, which is an awful lot more preferable. So this is something that is not going to happen by accident, and it's not going to happen by you just wishing you could be faster. You have to do it slow and pay attention to your hold and your back three fingers not holding too tight. If you're not looking at the problems, then you're really not going to be able to fix them. You're just going to end up tightening up that grip, and as a result you're going to max out on your speed because your arm can only move so fast. If you slow it down and you loosen your hold and you let your back three fingers return the stick the way they're supposed to, then when you speed up and you get that form correct, the speed's going to be way easier to manage. So let's move back to Jack now and see how he's doing. So now we're at a new angle again where Jack has the camera on the left hand side to show the inside of his right hand as he's playing. I'm just telling him to adjust his stick hold down a little bit. You should be holding with your thumb and your index finger at about the quarter mark. And basically with these sticks, there's a line in the middle of the stick, and your hold wants to be halfway between the end of the stick, right there where I'm holding, and that line. Now if you're too far forward or too far back, you can see the bounce just isn't optimum. But holding in the right position, it has a good bit of natural bounce. See that? So that's what we're looking for. We want to allow the stick to do its best for us. We don't want to hold it too high. We certainly don't want to hold it too low. The stick shouldn't be disappearing into your hand. So now that Jack's in the right position, as he starts, you can see it's a nice loose hold. Those fingers are doing their job of returning the stick back in. He's got a little bit of height. Now we're not exactly, oh, there's my dodgy adjusting. Zooming in, he's holding a little too tight now again. Those back fingers are in a little bit too snug. We really want that stick to get up to about 12 o'clock, straight up in the air, and to focus on that. So this has been a new kind of attempt for me to try and video a real life lesson. I hope this was beneficial to you guys. I've tried to make it as interesting as possible. I hope it helps. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.